And the Bulls at about 3:30 Eastern Time. It's New York at Phoenix. Patrick Ewing still a major question mark for the Knicks. He sprained his ankle on Wednesday night and sat out Friday's loss to Atlanta. We'll find out just before game time if he's able to play today. But luckily he is able to speak, and he did so with Peter Vesey.
You were one of the few guys that stayed loyal to Pat Riley when he left to go to Miami. What did you like about playing with him? You obviously shared a great relationship.
I love Pat. You know, I enjoyed playing for him. I miss him today.
Why?
He's structured. He's disciplined. He's loyal. He knows, knows how to win. He's trying to get the best out of his players, and I just enjoyed playing for him.
Don Nelson treats you as one of the most important players, and Riley treated you as the most important player. Are you disappointed that you're not the focal point?
Well, I mean, win or lose, it's all gonna come here. I mean, if we win, it's gonna come here. We lose, it's gonna come right back here. No matter who the coach is, I'll be always the one who gets blamed.
You think so?
Yeah, it's always been that way. It's been that way for 11 years.
Why do you say that, Patrick? I don't see anybody blaming you for not winning. They blame the fact that this team doesn't have another scorer.
I think that it all comes back to the mountain. And I'm the mountain.
Pat, you've been pretty outspoken this year, much more blunt than I remember you in past years. You came into this season saying that when Don Nelson was talking about running, you said that's not going to work. You also said around Christmas time that you wanted the ball more down low versus out on the perimeter. Do you feel that you're being utilized correctly?
Don has made an effort to try to get me the ball more on the block. Even though I love to shoot my jump shot when I have it, I'm an inside player, and that's where I want the ball.
But I was surprised that you were so vocal about it. In past years, I would have thought you would have gone to the coach. I
told him what I felt, and then I was asked about it, and I gave my opinion. I mean, I've been in this league 11 years, and I'm gonna say what I feel, and that's what I felt.
2 years ago, you were real close. What's happened to this team other than the fact that they've gotten older in the last 2 years? I mean, you yourself said they needed a three-man who could shoot, to quote you.
That was early in the season.
Well?
I think that Mason's doing a tremendous job.
Now you're going to get diplomatic on me.
No, I'm not going to get diplomatic, but you have to give him credit. He's done a tremendous job. He's having an outstanding year.
Realistically, do you really think you can beat the Bulls?
Yeah.
They embarrassed you guys in your own building on national television.
Yes, they did. And, I spoke to Scotty about that because he was talking that, this Madison Square Garden is their house now. So, I'll be ready for them, and I know my teammates will be ready for them the next time we play them.
This year, Jordan's back. The Eastern Conference was yours there for a couple of years. Don't you feel that the window of opportunity has been slammed shut?
No, I don't think so. And I'll never, think that. I think I'm a competitor, and every time I go out on the court, I think that I'm going out there to win. And if I start thinking that, the doors, the opportunities closed, then I might as well just hang them up and just go out and retire. I still think that we can beat Chicago, beat Orlando, and win the championship.
Well, Doc, how realistic do you think Ewing's assessment of his team is?
Well, I'll tell you, Patrick's a great player, and he's probably going to be around another 4 or 5 years, maybe even 6 years. It's not unrealistic to think of a guy playing basketball for 16 seasons. So he's got to believe that his team has a chance, and he can't psychologically put himself at a disadvantage. Is it realistic to think that they're going to be better than the Bulls or Orlando in the playoffs? I don't think so, but Don Nelson has always been a great matchup player in the playoffs and can find a way to win some games, if not enough to upset a team who, they're favored against.
Well, let's face it, the two trades that they made didn't hurt their... Well, they might have helped their chances to win it a little bit, but they didn't have that good a chance to win it anyway. They gave up 3 guys who weren't playing and 1 guy who didn't make the play, Charles Smith. Charles wasn't getting it done in New York and wasn't going to get it done in New York. The fans were all over him, and it was a great relief to get out of here and go to San Antonio.
But what all these deals did, depending upon how they play it, it freed up as much as $9 million under the salary cap. And now we hear talk of people like Alonzo Mourning, maybe Tim Hardaway, Juwan Howard, Reggie Miller, all being eyed by the Knicks, potentially.
Well, as long as we're talking, Bob, my feeling is that they have a chance to go out and get Michael Jordan. And the reason being is is that if Jerry Reinsdorf, the owner of the Bulls, does not give Jordan what he wants, if he considers it an insult, I think Jordan will make Reinsdorf pay one way or the other. And the best way to make him pay would be to come to New York for less money. And I've thrown that by Jerry Reinsdorf, and he says he doesn't really think that Michael's that kind of a guy, that he would be that vindictive. But I think there's a tremendous ego right here, and Michael just might do that.
But it has to be for much less money, because only a guy's present team can pay him over and above what the salary cap allows. And David Falk, Michael's agent's been talking about $25 million. Only Chicago can pay him that. So if he wants to do it out of spite, he'd have to take like half as much from somebody else.
Well, if you start at $9 million, you can take a 30% hike each year. You can get up pretty high in a 3-year contract. Obviously, he'd have to take less. But again, if he feels insulted, he has enough money from outside interest. He can come to New York and make Reinsdorf pay big time.
I would imagine he has enough money from outside interests. Late word from Don Nelson, by the way. He says he doubts that Patrick Ewing will start today in